guys, Chris here with Super Savvy Travelers. Hey, today we are here to drive a stake through the heart of the €1 Italian home illusion. And it started out as a great marketing plan. I mean, it really was quite brilliant. It generated a ton of viral content, not the least of which was for us. So you can go down and see my whole video on the truth about €1 Italian houses that I did several years ago, and it gives you a lot more data. But today I want to go over the downsides, why it's not a good idea to buy one of these €1 Italian houses, and go over some options in Tuscany that by the time all is said and done, they're much better value, they're much less stress, and most of all, they're much less risk. So we're going to look at all of those things. First of all, let's talk about why these €1 Italian houses came up as a marketing scheme in the first place. And it's because back in the 1800s and 1900s, there was the Italian diaspora where a lot of people, especially in the South, left and just abandoned their homes. Because life was hard back then, let's just be honest. So they all left and they just abandoned their properties. And in fact, when we went through in Santa Domenica Tellao with Antonello with our project to basically revitalize that town, which we did do very successfully, by the way, you walk in the door and you see their life completely uninterrupted from the time they left. Like, coffee cups still sitting out on the table, the pictures on the wall, all of those things. It's just a real snapshot of life. So a lot of these people left, and then the hill towns started dying out because the Italians in general, they're not as interested in hill towns as we Americans and other stranieri are, because they grew up with them. Many times grandma lived there, it's normal to them. It's not like, ooh, like us, like, oh, it's so beautiful. It's so charming and so typical and whatnot. We love that because we don't have that here. So it's not really a market for a lot of the locals for various different reasons. As they died out, the whole of Italy began to be very concerned about the fact that they're losing these hill towns. Now, each house in this hill town is a page in a history book, but each hill town is a chapter in a history book on the history and the culture and all of the valuable stories that were part of Italy. And Pete and I, before we were attacked, we had what we called the Difuse project. And since we'd had so much success in Santa Domenica Tellao with our team up there, obviously it's a team effort. It wasn't just me and Pete and Gigi. It was the whole team and our teams, down in Scalea. Now we have teams in Puglia and teams in Tuscany. So it wasn't just us doing it. And we thought, let's just revitalize these Italian hill towns. We're going to pick some, and then we're going to really promote it and show how beautiful it is to live there, bring in some, people to buy and renovate, and that brings in businesses. That was the plan before we were attacked. So you have all these abandoned properties. Some are abandoned, some are quasi-abandoned, some are, been renovated 10, 15, 20 years ago and that kind of thing. So there's all these properties that we could facilitate the sale of and set up the renovations and provide everything that was needed. And it was very satisfying. So that's why the €1 Italian house thing came about, was an attempt by these villages and municipalities to revitalize their towns. And they thought that they would get a lot of people over to do that. And it kind of worked for a while, but there's some very, very real problems that I would never get a €1 Italian house, especially since there's so many better options available. So the first thing let's look at the renovation costs, okay? So you are in, and here's the biggest red flag that I see. You're going to be in a village, right? A limited number of laborers. And you're basically coming in, the cost of renovation is anywhere from 800 to €1,000 per square meter, which is kind of the same in the places that we deal with in Calabria. And you're going to have to do some seismic retrofitting. That means that you're going to have that super comprehensive permit, which adds time and it adds money. Now, another thing I want to bring up, in addition to the renovation costs, which can balloon out of control very easily, is the fact that there's probably very limited resources in that one town. Many of these towns are somewhat isolated, quasi-abandoned. That's why they're €1 Italian houses there in the first place. So let's just take a theoretical situation, right? Let's say this town in Sicily, for example, promotes itself as a €1 Italian house location. They do a lot of marketing. 12 people buy houses, and you've got one contractor and a handful of builders. So in addition to your Notaio's fees and everything else, which we'll go over in a minute, all of the upfront costs, there are severe penalties if you don't finish your project on time. Okay, so you've got 12 guys, that have bought houses. They all need to finish in 3 years or whatever that particular contract says. They've all put down 1,000 to 5,000 euros in a surety bond saying, yes, if I don't finish in this amount of time, that goes away and you can seize my property. So the worst thing that could possibly happen in a situation like that is your contractor, who is a savvy marketer and a savvy businessman, sees he's got a lot of demand all of a sudden and the prices go way up, right? So it goes way up, and I would imagine, I don't know, we like to think that everybody is honest and ethical and first come, first serve, but sometimes that's not the case. So it might be the guy that pays the most that gets his house done first. And if you're last on the list, you might not get done in that time. And the worst thing that could happen is you start renovating, you put in, you've already bought it, you've already paid the upfront costs, the Notaio's fees, the taxes, all of that stuff. You've already paid all of that, which is significant, 5,000 to 10,000 euros. And then you're into it for, let's say, 25,000 euros. Okay, you already redone the structure, you got your permits, you're going along, but you're not going to be done in that time frame. They can take your surety bond for 1,000 to 5,000 euros, and they can take your house. And you've already agreed to that because that's what's in the contract a lot of times. So there's a lot at stake here. You could lose a whole lot of money. In this case, you could lose 35,000, 40,000 euros without having anything to show for it. Now, I know of towns in Calabria, and we've been showing them on the channel. Just go back through the channel and look at all the places that we've had that you can get for 35,000 to 45,000 that maybe require a little bit of paint, probably new electrics, which are not that expensive for an apartment down there, air conditioners and whatnot, not a total redo. So you could be in a world of hurt. You could lose a lot of money. And that's after all of the frustration of trying to deal with a situation like that. Now, I'm painting the worst case picture because you need to know what it is. I mean, there's best case. You go in, you pay your €1, you pay your Notaio's fees and everything else. Everybody's ready to go, and you get it all done in 3 years. You have a beautiful place for, 50, 60,000 euros maybe. Then you start a YouTube channel and boom your area, and everybody comes in and up your property prices and whatnot, and it's all good. But how often do we actually see the ideal scene take place? Usually there's a lot of frustrations and things going into it. So I wanted to give you the worst case scenario at the outset, so you know. So, okay, so we're talking about the typical range of renovations, 800 to 1,000 euros per square meter for basic works. It can hit 20,000 to 100,000 for a small 50 to 100 square meter house. 100,000 euros, okay, in renovation costs, where you can buy a place in Puglia for 100 square meters for around the same price that's already ready to move into. So that's a little scary. And some people, I did read an article about a woman who bought a couple of properties in Sicily, and her cost ballooned up to 425,000 euros, almost $450,000 for a 250 square meter vacation home. Now, if you love it, good. Please, that's fine. If your grandma came from that village and you really want that village and whatnot, great, go for it. I wouldn't do a €1 Italian house though. I would do something that is not tied in with that scheme, and you could do much, much better. Hidden surprises, let's talk about that, because we've seen a lot in the years and with all the clients that we've had. It talks about structural cracks and retrofitting and foundation issues. We've seen some very scary foundation issues, and these houses are probably 100 years old. Well, more than 100 years old, because it was 100 years since anybody was ever even in them doing any kind of maintenance work whatsoever. So you're not talking about peeling paint and new windows, okay? You're talking about possibly major structural issues. Now, let me tell you something else. Many times these houses are sort of in areas where the other houses around them are also ruins, okay? So if you have a ruin next door, you're gonna have to make sure those walls are solid. So you might be fixing their walls. If you are on the ground floor or underneath another ruin, you're going to have to make sure that that is all done too, and you're probably going to have to redo the roof. We had a situation where somebody contacted us and told us they had bought this beautifully renovated apartment and it was gorgeous and they loved it, but the unit above them was a ruin, and the rain was coming in through the roof. It had come in, it soaked through their apartments. There was major issues. The people that owned the house above were refusing to do any work because why would they put money into a ruin, honestly? They said, well, you can buy the ruin from us for about 15,000 euros and then fix it up, which is more cost for her. But the bottom line is that she was in a situation where she had to fix up somebody else's property in order to protect her own. That is a big, big deal, not only with €1 Italian houses, but with any house anywhere. Make sure that you're not underneath a ruin that is going to cause problems in your unit. Okay, now some of the process hurdles. Applications require detailed plans, architect and engineer approvals, notary deeds, and that sort of thing. Now, your notary costs can be anywhere from 1,000 to 3,000 euros. Notary is the guy, is the notaio. He's the guy that oversees all of the property transactions in Italy. If you don't use a notaio, you do not own the house. It is that simple. And his fees, since he's one of the highest guys in the real estate hierarchy in Italy, are going to be high. He does certain checks and things like that. So that's something you have to pay for. Now, the timelines are that most municipalities demand completion within 1 to 3 years, or you forfeit the property and your surety bond. So if you paid 5,000 euros for your surety bond and you paid a euro for the property, but then let's say you put 20,000 into it, you're out 25,000 euros for nothing. And missing deadlines due to permitting issues and inspection issues is quite common. In addition, these are all in historic centers, so there might be things that you cannot do to it. Things are much more stringent in a historic center in Italy than just outside the historic center. Things like solar panels, things like the size of your windows, putting balconies on where there was no balcony before. A lot of those things you can't do, so you have to make sure you know going in. Let's go over the costs. Okay, so your notaio's fees, as we said, 1,000 to 3,000 euros for deeds, registration, and that kind of thing. Agency commission, 500 to 1,000 euros. Surety bond or deposit, 500 to 5,000 euros. Property taxes, 200 to 1,000 a year. Not bad if you have a property you can actually live in. Utilities and insurance, 500 to 2,000 per year. You're going to need to turn on the electrics for these guys, or put them in and turn them on, because these houses probably don't have working electricity or good electricity, and sometimes they don't even have water. Okay, that's how old some of these properties are. So you're going to have to put in plumbing. You're going to have to change out or put in all new electricity. There's no heat in a lot of these except for a fireplace. So you're going to have to do all of that. These things are important to know. Maintenance, ongoing, probably around $1,000 a year. Yeah, that's probably what we've found, because living in a historic center or anywhere where it's moist, there's humidity issues, there's peeling paint, there's all kinds of things. It's going to cost a little bit to maintain your property. So the hidden startup costs are anywhere from 5,000 to 10,000 euros before you even touch any tools. And again, everything you put in to start up is something you could lose. All right, some of the other problems are these are remote locations generally. These are not in garden spots. They're not in the middle of Tuscany. They're not places that people know about, because that's why their €1 Italian houses exist there. And I will tell you for true that in these hill towns, very few people speak English. Now, return on investment, don't even go into it with an idea on getting a return on investment or as an investment property. It is strictly a home for you. The investment is in experience and hopefully connection, and hopefully it's a good experience and good connections and things like that. But don't expect to make money on it. Again, these are in locations that people don't generally go to. Some of them are somewhat inaccessible. And it's going to be difficult to resell it if the time comes that you have to do that. And many times there's no rental market. So putting it on Airbnb, not a good plan unless you really research it and get the areas that have already sort of boomed as a result of marketing and promotion. Now, there's some other financial and legal risks. If renovations fail inspections, you could face fines up to 10,000 euros or property seizure. And there are stories of people saying, what have I gotten myself into, and that kind of thing. Of course, that's going to happen, because even an experienced property buyer, seller, somebody experienced like we are. I mean, we've bought and sold several properties. We've renovated several properties. we've gotten our clients through, I would say probably close to 100 properties that we've been involved in with the renovations and the purchase and the whole 9 yards. I mean, so we've been around the block, and not the least of which, we have the best teams in the world working with us, super knowledgeable, super good, and we rely on them very heavily for advice and counsel. As I go through, of course, you're seeing that this is not for the faint-hearted. It's not for the budget conscious at all. If you have relatives that came from that town and you have something that draws you there, which is not unheard of. I mean, I felt the same way about Santa Domenica Tilao. I was just pulled there, and you really want to home there and you want to create something there, like a life, go for it. Absolutely go for it. Again, I wouldn't do a €1 Italian house. I would probably buy something for maybe 5,000 euros, because these places that have the €1 Italian houses, they have other places for very cheap too, without the risks and without the legal implications, without the possibility that your home could be seized or that you lose your bond and stuff like that. I mean, if you buy a house in Italy, generally you don't have a bond, you don't have any requirements that you renovated in a certain amount of time. What are you saving? You could spend 5,000 to 7,000 and get a house that you don't have to worry about all that stuff, and you have the time to get your feet under you and figure out the situation. Or you can save a few G's and spend a lot more and be stressed out to the max, because even I would be stressed out to the max with one of these. So I hope I got my point across on that. Now let's look at the alternatives. These are in Tuscany, guys, and I will tell you there's a movie coming out that's being very hyped. And it's taking place right exactly where we are in Tuscany. It's taking place in Pienza and a little town called Monte something. There's a lot of Monte towns up there, which are gorgeous, and they are all really, really worthy of a good look. Now, we have posted several properties that are well under 100,000 euros in places like Petroio, places like Scrofiano. One of my favorite properties was up there. And you buy these straight out, and a lot of them are fully habitable right now. Maybe you want to change out the bathroom or whatever, but the bathroom still works. Maybe you need to do some electrical work later on down the line, but it still works, and you can still be there and take your time to set it up and get them going. And as I said, there is this movie coming out that has got a lot of attention right now about Tuscany, filmed in Pienza and some of the other hill towns up there. Those are our stomping grounds up there. So I have a feeling that area is going to get very popular very quickly. So stay tuned for the next video. Contact us if you need our help in finding properties and setting you all up, especially in the Tuscany area. Things are booming up there. See you soon, guys.